Welcome to Podheim, Jiroc's Valheim podcast. Let's give him the business.
Hey everybody, today is August 30th, 2022. I'm your host, Jiroc the Viking, and joining me today are my fellow Vikings, Gwen the Shield Maiden.
Hey.
Shield Maiden, Morning Darkness.
Hello, hello, hello.
Bambi the Shield Maiden.
Hey there.
And joining us from text chat once again, through the voice of Gwen, is Viking Vaste.
Hola, hello, I'm Vaste again.
3 weeks in a row, man. We miss you. I mean, you're here, but like, dude.
Vaste saying it will become a meme soon. I think it's already a meme. Vaste, the mysterious invisible man.
Don't forget your robot Vaste voice, Gwen. I am Vaste. I am here.
I am here to entertain.
I'm here to win the quiz.
Probably, yeah.
That's it. Yes.
Sounds like a challenge. Start off with a couple of quick announcements. Just wanted to find out what... well, first off, welcome back, Bambi. You've been gone for a few weeks.
Almost 3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, so since you were gone for so long, why don't we find out what you've been up to over the last few weeks, if there's anything you would like to share with us.
It's a secret. I cannot tell because of the government. No, I went on a vacation.
You went on vacation? Did you go anywhere exciting, fun? I think you said you're camping, right?
Yeah, camping on Ameland. That's one of the islands above Netherlands. And if you go there, you're in a whole different world. It's so amazing and so peaceful. I always say when you go there for one day, you have been away for a weekend. So yeah, if you go for almost 3 weeks, you come back so relaxed. Yeah, it's amazing.
And were you tent camping?
Yes, of course. There's only way of camping, and that's with a tent. In my opinion, that is.
Yeah. And you did that for 3 full weeks living out of a tent, huh?
Almost 3 weeks. It was 2 days that it wasn't a full 3 weeks. Yeah.
Well, that sounds like awesome. I've never been camping that long. I'm not quite sure what it would be like. Did you have access to like a river or a lake to wash up, or did you have restroom facilities there?
There's a restroom facilities over there. So that's really neat. And we met some amazing people from Friesland, my province as well. And yeah, they made pancakes for all the children. And we did barbecues for everybody. And it was my birthday then as well, 14th of August. And they all came over with presents. And we sat till 4 a.m. having drinks and having fun. So yeah, it was amazing.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, no, I love camping. It's strange. About half of my peer group, my friends, enjoy camping, and the other half doesn't. And usually, it's one or the other of the couple. So, it precludes both of them because the other one doesn't like to go camping. So, I don't get to go camping as much as I'd like to, and we didn't do it at all this year. When normally we try to go at least once a year. So. Sad face emoji over here.
I miss being able to go camping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that.
It is hard.
Unfortunately,
go ahead.
I was going to say, unfortunately, tent camping is like straight out for me. I do have to go either in a camper or be in like an air mattress in the back of the bed of a truck or something because, yeah.
Yeah.
We did have a real high, how do you call those beds you pump air into? I know the Dutch
air mattress.
Yeah, we did have a real high one that was about as high as our normal bed. So that was really nice.
Nice. Yeah, we have one of those air mattresses too. As we got older, we switched from, sleeping on the ground to sleeping on, little pads to sleeping on a thin air mattress. And now we have a giant air mattress. It's about 18 inches thick.
Yeah, that's
Almost-
amazing.
Almost like being at home, but so some other announcements we have are I hit 10K last week, as I announced on the stream subs on YouTube. So we're going to do a 10K celebration live stream on September 10th. That's a Saturday. So save the date. It'll be at 12 p.m. Pacific time. I believe that's 7 p.m. GMT. And Gwen and I will be doing a face reveal. Any of the other admins who are interested are welcome to do that as well. And we're going to do all kinds of fun things. We'll have a Q&A. We might have a couple of guests stop by. We're going to play some trivia games. And I wanted to tell a little bit of backstory on Jiroc that maybe some people don't know. And then they can ask questions as I go through a little bit of that backstory, just to let them know a little bit more about me. And Gwen can obviously share whatever she's comfortable with sharing. And then what was the date? September 28th, right? We're going to be doing a 1-year anniversary of our Valheim servers being up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing to me when I think that we've been running the servers for a full year now. I had no idea when I first put it up, and I put up a message on YouTube says, anybody want to play with me?
I still can't believe that I joined only 2 months after you'd even put it up.
Yeah, that 2 months felt like a long time it had been up. And then,
Yeah.
And then
And
now
now
every
look at
month
you.
goes by so quick.
yeah. Even these weeks just go scream by for me because, we do the podcast every week and I think, well, I have a little breathing time. Maybe I'll make a video. Oh no, the next podcast is already here. What happened to the last week? I didn't get as many videos up.
I mean, if you putting out more content is being hindered by these podcasts, I mean, I want more Jiroc content. So how do we help you fix that?
Well, I'll be talking about that here when we get to the new videos posted announcements. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, so another announcement is our season 2 server is still running, still going strong. We still have a few new players every week signing up and jumping in to season 2 because, of course, a lot of stuff respawns there. So if you come late to the party, there'll be plenty of things there for you to see and do. You just sign up on Patreon because access to my servers is a Patreon perk. And yeah, we've got a lot of cool stuff getting ready and gearing up for season 3. And I did record a video, speaking of new videos, announcing my new adventure server, Jiroc's adventure server. That's a single player download where every 2 weeks I'm adding a new POI to it. Currently there are 3 POIs on there, and it's been available for download for a few weeks now. And I recorded the video for it. I just haven't had a chance to edit it. So very few people know that it exists except for my Game Master patrons and above. They have access to download that. They can download Season 1 map, which doesn't require any mods. I had somebody asking on Discord, what mods are required for Season 1. And we designed that one so there are no mods needed. More than 50 hand-built locations, artifacts at every location, and boosted mobs at every location. And again, you can play that without any mods at all.
So cool.
And a bunch of cool blueprints if you're interested in building in creative mode. Valheim news, Gwen.
There's been a 1 patch. I might have missed some other things. But we've had a patch, which is mostly to fix a bug that would cause the game to crash, often with a reset of the game world in the process. So that is I think we mentioned it last week because it went in the public test branch a week or 2 ago. Yeah. So we knew it was coming. The patch went out, in fact, today, I believe. So today, 30th of August, the date where we're recording. So good news for all the people who have been affected by this bug, and hopefully that won't happen anymore, because it's always a bit heartbreaking when you lose your whole world to a bug like that. So yeah. They also said that if you're playing on a dedicated server, make sure that the server host has updated the game before you play in order to avoid unforeseen issues. For us and our servers, it went pretty smoothly. We're hosting our servers on Gportal, and it all, like, the server got updated pretty smoothly, and I haven't heard of anyone having issues connecting or anything like that. So seems to be going okay. I won't go into the whole details of that patch because it's mostly technical and mostly related to that bug. But there is a few. There are a few things that are non-technical, new changes, which I'm not sure how to interpret. So there's stuff around like characters, and characters would duplicate file names and so on. So I still class that with the whole saving bug fix. But there was at the very bottom 2 patch notes, bullet points saying, one is Beehive VFX on hit fix. So there has been a change to the effect, I guess, the VFX on the Beehive when you hit it, I'm guessing. I don't know that there was anything that needed to be fixed, but I guess there probably was. And then the second one, really important and probably the one that everyone cares most about, is that this patch removed the ability to craft and build the Midsummer items.
Aww.
Sad face. I know. So we lost the flower crowns and the maple as part of this patch, but we kind of knew it was in the PTB as well. We knew it was coming, so.
Yeah.
For those of us who knew and saw it, we just madly went dandelion picking for hours to create all the flower crowns we could stockpile for future use, decoration, and etc.
So how many crowns do each of you think you made to stockpile?
I didn't make that many because I didn't have that much time to go flower picking, but I have like maybe a normal chest, like a wooden chest.
What is that, like 8?
Yeah,
10.
Maybe. I think I made less than that, though.
Oh,
I think I only made like 6. Because each of them is 20, I think, flowers?
10.
Oh, 10 flowers. Yeah, I think I gathered 2 stacks of flowers, and then I kept some for maples. I made like 3-4 maples in around different builds. So I think I must have made like between 6 and 8, maybe, flower crowns.
Ooh. And what about you, Morning? You made a couple of chests full, didn't you?
Well, by the way, let's not forget Vashti. He's typing all kinds of things in the chat.
Oh, that's. I'm waiting for the disembodied voice of Gwen. Otherwise, I'm not reading chat.
But yes, I did fill an entire black metal chest, and I filled a wooden chest for Gwen for the massive table that we're decorating. And I've got a couple more like stashed away in a couple of other places. So I've made over 40 crowns. I'd say closer to 45. Yeah,
oh my gosh,
closer to 45.
Well, if I ever want to buy one, I should be going to you.
Yeah, you're like our flower crown dealer.
Yeah, I know, right? If I have any left, you might get the gift of one. Yes, Bambi. Or no, I might charge you a stack of coins because that's limited.
We have enough gold, so that's no problem.
Right?
And Bas is saying the Mountain Wolves did a full black metal chest. Well, that's 10, right? No, 20, 12. No. 20 slots in the black metal chest?
Isn't it 20?
No, it's more than that. It's 8 by 4, so...
What? 32?
Yeah.
I forgot how big the black metal chests are.
Right? Okay, isn't it 8 by 4? Good. No, it's more than that. It's 8 by... I'm trying to revisualize it.
Oh, I hope that's not in the trivia because we've all lost.
Guess what's in the trivia now?
32. Basta said 32.
It is 32. Okay.
Basta also wants to keep the meme reel of Mistlands is coming. Like winter is coming.
Yeah, but Vaste, when will Mistlands come out?
12.
1 million.
I saw something today, but it hasn't been discussed yet, so I don't want to go into it. And I also have questions because of other things that have been announced. But I don't know, is now the time to talk about that if we're bringing up that?
Sure.
Is it related to my next tiny piece of, it's not really Valheim news, but the other thing I wanted to mention? Is it something you heard on the dev stream that they just did?
Yes, that's why I'm waiting.
Okay. So let's talk about the dev stream. So to my knowledge, the patch was the only like official Valheim news. I don't know of any other tweets or anything like that were done. I didn't spot anything. But the Luma and Grimcore, also known as Robin, which we had both of them on our servers and doing interviews, maybe also on Podheim. Luma on his channel did a stream of him and Robin just playing. I joined the stream about 45 minutes in, so I missed a little bit, but I then listened to a whole hour before we needed to jump on this recording. And they were just kind of chatting. They were goofing around in the swamps, killing abominations and all sorts. And so Morning Darkness, what did you hear that piqued your interest?
So who's Jade in the chat?
Jade PG is another YouTuber.
Okay. Because so then what they said in the chat may or may not be actually confirmed. So I don't want to give out misinformation on Jiroc's podcast.
So the rumor is...
the rumor is that I saw that Jade seemed very confident about when they answered was that at worst case scenario, at absolute latest, December 14th.
Well, they did say that it would come out this year, I think, publicly.
They did say that.
So
they also
one
said
might guess
quarter.
before the Christmas holiday vacation. I'm sure that's probably when they tried to get it out. So that's reasonable rumor.
But they did also say third quarter, and we're, a day away from that. The end of that. Or, well, I mean, September is the end of
Is there an official post where it says third quarter? Because everything I've seen recently from them just said this year.
Okay, yeah. Then it was third quarter 6 months ago.
Oh.
Yeah. So end of this year. But okay, so I have a question, because they also said that they already have a contract with Microsoft for releasing Valheim on Xbox early of next year, right? 2023. And I know that Xbox, as far as I'm aware, everything I've read, everything I've seen, doesn't accept early release games. So does that mean that they have to finish the rest of the game and the rest of the biomes shortly after they release Mistlands? I don't know. That's my question. And I didn't get a chance to ask it because I was getting my medical treatment, but I tuned into the stream at about the same time you did, Gwen.
Buster says money moves everything, even for Xbox to accept early access. And I think he's got a point. I don't honestly think the game will be finished anytime in the next year, because there's Mistlands and then there's Deep North and Ashlands. There's like 2 more biomes to go after this one.
And Ocean.
Until the game...
And Ocean.
And Ocean. Well, Ocean is a bit more of an optional one, right? Like Ocean is okay as it is. It doesn't feel like it needs to... I mean, it would be nice to have loads of stuff, but like literally Deep North and Ashlands are completely empty. You can't release a game with lands that are completely empty. So at minimum, I would say they would need to have those 2 up to be able to release the game as official, and that's not going to happen anytime soon. So I don't know. I feel like it could just be that for Xbox, they wanted to take a gamble because the game was so successful on early release. I'm also curious to see how the game actually does on controller. I was chatting to Mad Michael, who's a player in our community who has been picking up Valheim again with a controller. And I mean, with a lot of these games, you can tell it's not really made for a controller experience. So I don't know, like I would expect Microsoft to have a game release on Xbox to want to have certain standards and a certain playability on Xbox. I don't know how much the game is ready for it now, or if they need to do loads of changes to comply with that.
Well, they did get their game ready for Steam Deck, right? And that's controller.
Yeah.
So
That's controller.
yeah.
But the game is already
that's-
on Steam. That's the difference. And Steam is a lot more open about like having indie games and so on.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine playing a PC game with a controller. I'm just too used to WASD and my mouse, but I know some people like it, and some people have a hard time with the WASD for, physical reasons and whatnot. So yeah, it's a good option to have.
I would
Yeah.
hate building though with a controller.
Yeah. Anything that requires picking stuff in an inventory and so on might be, that's what my Michael was saying, is a bit tricky. Like normal gameplay, exploring and foraging stuff, combat is fine, but yeah, building or crafting and so on gets a bit trickier. Also, Basti is saying that they might do an official release, but not a real one. So he's thinking maybe Mistlands is the 1.0 release.
Oh, interesting.
But still, it doesn't. I mean, the two biomes are obviously, the two remaining biomes are obviously empty, so it doesn't feel like a finished game.
Yeah, from my talking with the devs, and I get to talk with some of them sometime in text chat privately on Discord, my feeling from all those discussions is the game's more than 2 years out from 1.0 release. So it'll be interesting to see how they brand it for Xbox and everything next year. But
Yeah.
let's talk about some of the new videos that we posted this last week. Myself, I have been doing, summertime, really busy, lots of stuff going on. So I didn't actually get any new videos up. I did record, like I said, the video that showcases my new adventure world, where I'm putting POIs from various seasonal servers and various resource server resets, the Great Folding, there, and adding a few every week. But I haven't had a chance to edit it yet. I also have mostly edited the next trivia quiz from last week's podcast. People seem to like to have access to just the trivia quiz portion of the podcast. Yeah, surprisingly, last week's podcast, it surpassed it surpassed every podcast we've ever done in less than a week, except for the Grimcore one. And it's because the thumbnail said Mistlands armor and cooking upgrade or something. So yeah, people really respond and want to click in here and listen to things that when you talk about Mistlands. So everybody talk about Mistlands today. So I have all kinds of ideas for Mistlands thumbnails.
Talk more. Speculate.
Basti says Mistlands stonks.
Well, Gwen, what did you do on streaming or videos this last week?
Yeah, so now
yes.
that I'm housebound because I broke my foot a week ago,
Ow.
no.
I posted and I played quite a lot more than usual. So I posted a super short clip of me using the admin or the cheat sledge, the rainbow sledge, on a building for the first time. I was doing a bit of cleanup on Playground. There was this base that was kind of never finished, that had been there for months, abandoned, and it was obstructing the view and a bit too close, like within render distance of another player's base. So I just did him a service and just destroyed it. And it was like a big cube in the middle of a river. Like literally, it was a cube. It was loads of stone and then loads of wooden and stone structure, and it was like really a huge cube. I think it was meant to be some sort of like storage / boathouse, but the thing was huge, and I didn't want to just take a hammer and destroy each piece one by one. So I used my admin character, spawned in the cheat sledge, and went bonk. And I thought that I crashed the server for a short second, because suddenly as the impact hit, as a hammer hit, the game was completely frozen, and I was like, "Uh-oh, what have I done?" And
What have I done?
Yeah, for anyone who's tried that, if you're doing that on a big building, basically the everything getting destroyed and all the materials dropping to the ground is causing huge lags. And that's what happened. And I thought I crashed the server, then I thought I crashed my game. And it was all fine. It just needed a couple of seconds to recover. But yeah, it was fun. So I just took that tiny clip and posted it on my channel just for the lols. And then I streamed on No Map Adventure part 3 of trying to find freaking bone mass.
3 times.
And did you?
Yes. So that was the previous episode was also like, well, I think I had started the one before and did maybe like 2 hours of looking for bone mass. And then the week after that, it was like 4 hours of looking for bone mass. And this time the stream was 5.5 hours. We found bone mass around the 5-hour mark. So yeah, in total, it was like well over 10 hours of searching for bone mass, but we found it. And the really satisfying thing was we found a bone mass that no one else on the server had found before. So that felt really nice. And we also just very close to bone mass or on swamps very close to bone mass, we found a POI that no one had found before as well. So
nice.
That was like a double check. And it was really satisfying. And yeah, at some point we got a little bit tired of just being in the swamps for hours on end. So we did a small excursion on a hill because we wanted to basically see from up high down to the swamps to see if we could spot anything. And then in the process, we found a deep north biome, which on season 2 has loads of interesting mobs and structures populated. And we came across and fought for the first time a ice giant, or I think it's ice giant.
Oh, yeah.
Called. And
Ice golems. Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, they're huge. They're really impressive. And the animations are pretty cool as well. It does like a jump. It jumps up and then lands on the floor, does loads of AoE damage. And yeah, so that was fun.
It does the same damage as like a hammer does.
Yeah. In terms of AoE, damage, it was... so that was fun. So we did a bit of side adventuring, but so that was a really long stream. And then like 2 days later, we did another super long stream, this time with Morning Darkness. We did 4 hours of streaming. It was supposed to be 2. We did 4 hours and it was supposed to be a bit of a masterclass of feast table decoration because we have a competition on the server coming soon, and MD asked me to decorate her giant treehouse's giant table, and so we're like, oh, let's do it on stream, that way I can share tips and so on. We ended up spending half the stream I was obsessing over these centerpieces. I was like, I had an idea, I had a vision, I wanted to execute it, and I was experimenting. So I did that. Then I broke her table, and then eventually we got onto decorating the table and doing like the food stuff that people were tuned in for. But it was a very fun stream.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you guys were just Gwen just came in like a wrecking ball. She wrecked
broke everything.
Yeah, you spend so much time on centerpieces.
Yeah,
so much fun. Yeah,
I know, but I'm actually editing this whole 4-hour stream down because I do appreciate no one will watch and sit through 4 hours to get like the one nugget of information that I might give every like 20 minutes. So I'm trying to edit it down so that hopefully that video will be up at some point. And I also need to carry on this table decoration because I've only scratched the surface and there's so many other things I wanted to show. So I'll probably do like a part 2 of that stream.
Yeah, I really want to see that, but because I learned a lot from that, all those hours, it was amazing.
I'm glad you did. I felt bad because I was like, oh my God, I promised to teach people stuff, and I feel like all I've done is messing around, experimenting with stuff.
No, you gave me so many ideas. Yeah, it was amazing.
Oh man, Basti is saying I need to watch it and add some timestamps. Basti, if you watch the 4 hours and add timestamps for every interesting thing I say, I will get you a gift. I don't know. You ask. You will get something, because that would be so helpful
with your editing.
And huge task. Oh yeah.
So Gwen, you mentioned that you broke your foot and you're making more videos, which I'm totally freaking thrilled about. But how did you break your foot again?
Yeah. So
Gwen, what did the other guy look like after you broke your foot?
I wish it was such a cool story. It was, to be fair, it was in combat training.
Oh,
but
okay.
it's really not because of the combat, or it is indirectly. I essentially twisted my foot, like rolled on it, just like you would twist your ankle, except it's my foot, and it was like half of the foot went under the other half in a weird way. It made a big crunch, and then it hurts. Yeah, so I kind of like basically rolled on my foot in a weird way, and I went to A&E like 2 days later because I was like, I'm going to see if it gets better. Then after 2 days, it was still hurting whenever I was trying to put my foot down. So went to hospital, did a scan, and it's a small hairline fracture. So nothing too bad, but just means that I can't really exercise or walk long distances. The interesting thing is they gave me one of those like ugly boots, the hard sole boots.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And they told me,
boots?
Yeah. The I call it the ugly boot. And they told me to actually keep walking on it, that it's better to keep moving the foot, moving the toes, the ankle, and like everything around it, and keep walking on it as much as pain allows, because it will help heal. So that's what I'm doing. I even went to training this week, because that happened like a week ago. So this weekend I did go to training. I just sat in a camping chair and just was sewing away, but I was there for moral support, but of course didn't train combat myself because I can't.
And what kind of combat training was it, Gwen?
Oh, it's my I remember that I speak about it a lot on the podcast, but for the people who have just tuned in to this episode and don't know, I do reenactment. Medieval reenactment, 12th century England, so the Normans basically, and every weekend we get together with my local group and we practice and we train combat with blunt steel weapons, and so we bash each other with shields and swords and pole arms and things, and sometimes get injured. Get bruised a lot, but sometimes unfortunately get injured too. I say that it really doesn't happen very often. That was a rare occasion. And again, it wasn't the combat. It could have happened with any other sport. I don't know how I did it. I just rolled on my foot in a really silly way.
Yeah, that's the side effect of an active lifestyle.
Exactly.
My friends who don't work out very often tease me because I'm always injured or hurt, or, going to the doctor for some, something that hurts, joints, shoulder, elbow. Now it's my wrist is starting to hurt. I think I lifted a weight too heavy or something, but whatever. And so, yeah, it's either not be in shape and don't have your joints and everything, hurting or injured, or you feel a little fit and things hurt. So it's one or the other, it seems.
Exactly. Basti is saying one of the most important things of fighting is to learn how to fall.
Yeah.
Yes, I fell beautifully. That was not the problem. The problem was getting back up.
Well, morning. What have you been up to over on Twitch?
Oh gosh. Well, I started working on a storage facility for a friend using, I think it's Kondo's trick on how to embed the sign into the chest.
Oh, I'm not familiar.
Because I don't think I've seen. Oh, yeah. So you place a sign, you label it, and then you take a chest and move it until it clips over the sign. But the pixels for the words are just like 1 pixel past the sign itself. And so you can embed the sign inside the chest and never mess up and click the sign, but have beautifully labeled chests that are just really clear and obvious. It's a wonderful thing.
The only drawback to that, if I remember correctly, though, is if you want to change the sign, you have to remove the chest to change it. Is that right?
That is correct.
Oh,
so So if you have any interest in or need to change a sign, you have to destroy the entire column to change like the sign for the chest on the bottom. Per se. But you know what?
Yeah.
For the amount of times that I accidentally click the sign and then like have to escape out and then I can't access the chest, it's so frustrating. It is worth it to me to redo an entire column just to like have otherwise ease of mind for the entirety of the use of my storage.
I must resort my stuff too often because I'm always like, okay, now this is going to move over here. That's going to move over there.
Oh, see, I have a system, Jiroc. I have a system.
Yeah, you need a system, Jiroc. Your storage is not good then.
No, like I'll do my stuff in crafting stuff. I'll do in alphabetical. And then with like the building materials in a separate section. But the storage that I was asked to do, they asked me to do it by biome, and I'm like,
oh no, I hate that. I hate that.
Damn that. I do it per level.
Oh God.
But that's the same as by biome.
Exactly.
All my iron goes in one space, and then it goes. You start with tin, copper, and
right. So the metals go in like the building section, but anyway, it's fine. So I've been having fun doing that storage, and I had the colorful science mod on just to make it easier to place the chests. But then a couple people were like, oh yeah, you have to have the sign mod to make that work. And I'm like, no, you can actually do this completely in vanilla. So I turned off all mods last night just to prove to people, no, this is truly a vanilla trick. I was just making it easier on myself. So that was fun. And I've been doing a couple of tours of other people's builds, villages, that sort of thing, just because I find building in Valheim so fun and people have such different takes on it. So we've been doing that, and that's been fun. And then I've been stalling on my no-map run. So we went abomination hunting last stream. But my partner in crime has returned as of today. So we will be fighting Bone Mass starting tomorrow on no-map. So that's fun. So our no-map streams are still concurrent, Gwen.
Yeah, they're still at the same level, except you don't.
I already found her.
Yeah, and you don't need to search for hours on end for the bosses because you just stumble on them.
How many did you find, Morning Darkness?
Oh, so we found a bone mass, and then we accidentally found a second bone mass on mine. But anyway, and then there was the stream where we were decorating the table with Gwen, and that was so much fun. You know, Gwen and I just bantering with each other. I sent people to her stream. She sent people to my stream. There was all kinds of just fun support, and people were loving it. And I definitely think that a highlighted VOD will be absolutely extremely valuable, Gwen. So I look forward to
working on it. Working on it with now Vasto to help me with timestamps. So
and then part two.
Part two. If we don't finish too late tonight, might do like an hour or two. Just focusing on decorating. Otherwise, maybe tomorrow night.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
And you guys are forgetting it. You guys gave us a new tribe member.
Oh, yeah. Well, we weren't forgetting, but that leads us into the next set, unless Jiroc has anything else to add.
No, yeah, we're going to talk about server updates now. Go for it.
All right. So I would like to welcome new members to the server. We have Erica, Broker, Guns, and Clara, who has been in my Twitch chat for the last several weeks. I want to say almost a month. And apparently Bambi interviewed her. And I think it was watching Gwen decorate the table that encouraged her to join Jiroc's server. So welcome, Clara. Yay!
Welcome, Clara.
Yeah. Yeah, welcome to all the new members. That's awesome. And for you guys recruiting people too.
I was like, I have directed one person to you, Jiroc. I mean, outside of my family that joined, but that's a different thing.
Yeah, the shield maidens are taking over your empire. You don't notice it yet. You don't know it yet.
Oh my!
We're here.
Well, I have noticed it. I'm the only male voice on the podcast these days.
Yeah, Vashti's here though.
Is he though? Is he even real? Who knows?
Or is Gwen just making it up as we go? Well, Gwen, speaking of Vaste, what it was going on the server the other day?
Yeah, so yesterday, as we usually do on Mondays, when it's not the great folding event on the resource server, we still try to do some small admin events. And Vaste who has debuted his alter ego, his admin character, Aris. Am I pronouncing it right? Aris?
I think so.
Yeah. So he ran an event and tried to attack the spawn. The spawn on resource server, where there's like a little spawn house that takes you to the Naomi Hotel, which is the hotel that all the players use when they're resource gathering on the resource server and just setting up portals and beds and whatnot. And yeah, so Aris descended down on spawn with his mountain minions, and the spawn house was almost lost because all the mobs were following the Vikings there. They had a 5-star moder that he does admit was not the, I know, he does admit that it was not the best idea. And
1 star is twice as tough as the standard one. 5 is something like 100 times tougher.
Yeah, so I'm guessing he got rid of it, and then he spawned a bunch of other mountain kind of orcs and cultists and so on. And at the end of the event, as a bit of a well done for all the Vikings and shield maidens that bravely fought the mobs that Aris brought in, he spawned in a tame cultist, aka Culty, to join the Vikings to clear and protect the hotel. So now the hotel for the upcoming week has a receptionist called Culty. Apparently you shouldn't be looking at him in the eye, but other than that, he's quite helpful.
It will scare all the new players so hard.
That's what a couple of people have said, that they like almost had a heart attack when they just logged in on resource server and suddenly there was a cultist right in the middle of the build. He is mostly harmless, he says.
That is a fun idea, especially for the resource server, because it's temporary, to have a tame mob help protect and help you fight, side by side. What a great idea, Vaste, if you're even real.
I like the idea of scaring people when they log in much more.
Apparently last time it was a bat, so I wonder what a tame bat does feel or looks like. Does it just like fly around, or does it go to sleep?
You might learn in the future.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, Gwen, moving on to our next segment, questions from the community. Do we have any questions from the community this week?
Yes. So we had a couple from Vizelko, who's one of our players on the community. He was asking about future game developments expectations, and he wants to hear our take on things. So first question is, do you think devs will add a new light armor for planes? Because he notes that all the biomes up to the plains have heavy and light armors. So he thinks there will be another armor in the plains too, like a second lighter set.
There was a post, I forget where it was, maybe in a Twitter conversation or something, but someone did say that there would be some content for earlier biomes as well coming out with Mistlands, so it just won't all be Mistlands content. So that said, maybe ? Although a new armor is something in the past they've sort of made that its own update. So I don't know. I guess it just depends on what balancing and what they can get out along with, Mistlands prep.
Mm-hmm.
but maybe eventually.
Yeah, following up on that, he's asking, what do you think it will be? Which materials could be the main ingredients? Which bonuses it could have? His
Lox
guess,
pelt.
yeah. So his guess is a Lox armor with resistance to slow and wet debuff. That's an interesting one.
Oh, yeah, resistance to slow. Yeah, that's where do we get the slow effect?
We get it from the black blobs.
The tar.
The
That's
tar
right. The tar
blobs. Yeah, one of the growths. Yeah, so we
Growths.
get it from the tar. We get it also when we get the freeze attacks from the drakes.
Right. That's in the mountains.
And I suspect that one of the mobs from the Mistlands will probably give you also that slow effect, because all we've seen so far points in the direction of like some sort of silk like thing, sticky stuff.
Yeah.
So I suspect there will be probably some slow stuff. So it would be a good armor to have. That is true. And Basse is saying he would say the same armor with Lox pelt, but with black metal and heavier than padded. And as set effect, it would give bonus to blocking skill and resistance to slash or blunt. Interesting. So Basse is thinking more along the lines of more of a tanky armor.
I think we can expect more linen armor.
I hope so, because we have so much flax and linen that we're just stockpiling at the moment. There's only so many capes that you can make. Cool. And then there is another question. So there's lots of text around it, but in short, the question is, how do you think devs could scale the difficulty in the swamps according to your current game progress? Because he's saying that the swamps is pretty challenging when you meet it for the first time, but later when you go back to get some iron needed for padded armor, it is practically a walk in the park without any challenge or real danger. So I guess the question is, as we need to go back to the swamps for iron, and it is the only place that you can get iron, do you think that the devs would change and scale the difficulty so that it's not just, a chore that is a bit too easy?
Well, they added the abomination to the swamps, making them a little bit more difficult. But when you've got max level gear, it's still pretty easy. And that's a thing that they have not considered yet, as far as I can tell, because it was on my wish list for things I'd change from last week's podcast, where I said I would love to see higher level mobs in the lower level biomes. Just to make it a little bit more exciting. When you're lower level, you come across that you can either find an engineering way to defeat it, or run it into other mobs, or just run away. But the biomes are all too easy. It's kind of the thing I regretted when I played MMOs that I really disliked is I'd finish an area and then I really no reason to go back because everything was too easy to kill. And Valheim's a little bit like that, where each, the earlier biomes are just too easy. So yeah, it's...
Well, you could go Guild Wars 2 and scale the biome to the level of scale down your level to the biome you're in.
Yeah, that was a thing they did because it was based on level. We don't really have a level system.
No,
it's
that's
just
true.
a skill system. So
yeah,
I think high level mobs from higher level biomes wandering around in lower level biomes would be awesome. So just something we have to keep reminding them that we would love to see.
Mm-hmm. Another idea that is also based on game progression. So as you defeat more bosses, you unlock more raids, right? So currently, the only raid that you can get when you're out and about is the You Are Hunted event. Mm-hmm. All the other raids only get triggered if you are near a base, a campfire with a bed. So maybe if they added more raids that you could get on the go, after you defeat Yagluth, getting those You Are Hunted style events, but with other mobs, would make those mining expeditions in the swamps a bit more challenging.
Yeah, and you maybe could scale, like if you killed Yagluth and you get a forest attack, you might scale up those mobs then, because that's easily done, I think.
Yeah, it's a triggered event, right? So, And you can really map it against the game progression. So if you already defeated Yagluth, meaning your like late stages, then you get harder raids with more starred mobs and so on. And same once you defeat the next boss. Yeah.
Yeah. In a way, they do have higher level mobs in the biomes, right? Because with progression, you get the raids on your base, or with the killing of Yagluth, the fueling raids go away, but then fueling spawn at night. So I guess you do see them. I would just like to see them from the beginning, though.
You just like to kill people, Jiroc.
I like to be killed too.
That's a good one to remember.
or have the threat of killing, right? Like so you got to run away.
No, you said a whole different thing.
and not to be totally nitpicky, but just as a correction, the raids happen for certain base items, not just a campfire and a bed.
Right. You need three base items, and I have a video that talks about which base items prevent spawning, and those same items are considered base items that will cause raids.
Yeah.
Isn't it like workbench, bed, and fire?
No, it's more than that, though.
Oh, there's like 40 items.
Portals as well, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the minimum, and then anything on top of that would, be counted as. But
yeah, like I have a portal hub that I built out in an island in the middle of an ocean on a server, on one of the servers before I joined Jiroc's, and it only has portals and workbenches, but it has been a target of several raids. But because I've spawn proofed it with like the torches and some other stuff, any raid, nothing shows up.
Yeah, my base here on the playground, I shouldn't probably say that when Jiroc is around. It's pretty raid proof.
Oh, Basse is saying we need an ocean raid. That would be quite fun.
Oh, that'd be
Suddenly,
so cool.
all the sea creatures, the leeches, anything that swims, leeches and serpents and everything just chasing you.
Yeah.
Hunting your boat down. Basse was also saying, just going back to this, the fact that we will probably need iron still to craft the next level items in the Mistlands. He's saying that it would be pretty bad if we need iron to craft the new items in the Mistlands, but if they didn't also add a way to get iron in the other biomes, because it's an item that is such in high demand because we need it so much for like building. It will be too repetitive to have to go back to the swamp for 3 different tiers of things, which is a good point. So maybe they will not require iron for things in the Mistlands. Maybe we'll have just another material, another metal or something. Or maybe you will be able to mine iron in the Mistlands. Who knows?
Yeah, and I posted on YouTube asking for questions from the community, and I should try to do this the day or two before. I was only thought about it an hour before we started recording, but I did get one question from someone named Tyler Planton, and it says, "Any idea about optimization for game time frame? My GPU keeps trying to set my CPU on fire when I load up. Don't have the same issue with any other game, and have tried all the available possible fixes."
So because I have a pretty crappy laptop as well. I saw someone post in another Discord this video that gives you loads of recommendations on performance optimizations of your computer settings to run Valheim. I can share that if it helps.
Yeah, because there are settings you can actually set inside Windows itself that will help.
Yes.
To prioritize, the certain apps and how it handles the RAM and your video card and the computer's RAM, different things like that. And Iron Gate in developing Valheim, they've optimized it, as much as they can to this point. There's probably still some more optimizations that can be done, especially as Unity is the game engine. So once Unity updates and optimizes, then they can optimize it because they're just using the Unity game engine. So there's only so much they can do. So it's really, I think most of it seems to be left in Unity's ball court. How much can Unity optimize things? And then, because that's what they're using, then the game will get optimized. So yeah, I would send emails to Unity and ask them to, when their next big optimization is coming, because I think Iron Gate's got it maxed out optimization, and now they're just adding content. But we'll have to wait and see as we get closer to 1.0.
Yeah. And I'll comment on once this video is posted with oh no, I can't comment with a link. Maybe Jiroc, you might want to add that link in the description or something. It's a video called Valheim dramatically increase FPS performance with any setup, best settings. And it's from Pangno, PANGJNO is the YouTube channel that posted that. It's quite an old video. It's from February last year, but I followed a couple of those steps for my Windows settings to help with with the CPU and so on. And it seems to have helped a little bit. I didn't test it thoroughly, and I also didn't tweak the graphic settings yet so much. So hope that helps.
That video and other performance videos have been up on YouTube for a while. So yeah, I would definitely check some of those out and help you improve your performance. But now we're going to talk about things we'd love to see changed or added to Valheim as it continues to go through its development in early access and beyond once it does its final official release. Morning Darkness, what would you love to see changed or added?
So since I've been doing a lot of storage lately, I've run into a thing where I really wish that the crypt keys and the wishbones would stack, because the antlers stack, and that's great, especially when you're moving around and, have a bunch of people, and the tiers stack, and I'm pretty sure the Yagluth things stack, but the keys and the wishbones don't. And I am not entirely sure why, but I really would like to see that happen.
Oh, that's
it would make storage so much easier, because then you could just have one box for boss drops and not have to have a totally separate box just for keys and just for wishbones.
Because they are amazing to decorate with.
Right?
Yeah.
And the ones that are the best to decorate with are the ones, especially the keys, they don't stack.
Yeah, that seems like a little bit of an oversight. If some boss drops stack and some don't, I might have to message Jonathan, one of the programmers, and just let him know if that's on his radar or not.
Bless you, Jiroc. Thank you. Hey, is this an oversight or is this on purpose? And if it's on purpose, why? Because they glow, but the Yagluth things glow and the tears glow, and I don't understand.
So Baste has a theory. He says because they are tools and not materials, so they behave differently because they're different
but
objects.
the pickaxes are tools. The antlers are tools.
No, the antlers are materials that you make a tool out of.
I see. It's a tool itself. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I think it's probably literally the way the game is coded. The objects are categorized in different ways, and so materials and foods are meant to stack, but things like tools don't.
Right, because the belts and the wishbones are equipable, but the keys aren't really equipable. You just have to, I don't know. Yeah, I can see why that's the logic there. I still wish they would stack.
Just the keys, if anything, right?
Well, when I'm doing admin stuff, oftentimes I need to spawn in a whole bunch of tools or swords or weapons or armor or different things, and yeah, it would be nice if they stacked for doing that kind of stuff too.
Right. I wasn't going to go into stacking weapons because, yes, that would make things really easy too, but you can't then equip a stack. I can understand how it would be a coding nightmare. Yeah. But yeah, that's my wish list.
Well, Bambi, what about you? What would you love to see changed or added?
I love doing buildings and making the surroundings look more beautiful. So I would love to have a water tool added to the hoe, So you could make like beautiful ponds or rivers. I know you can make them with, just digging deep enough.
Ooh.
But yeah, just shallow ponds or shallow rivers. Yeah, I would really love a water tool for that.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
Yeah, like The Sims has. Sorry.
If I remember correctly, one of the modders was trying to create an item that you could build at different sizes. So it was basically like a giant hot tub, but without all the hot tub stuff. And then you could place it into the ground and, raise the dirt up around it. So it looked like a little pond. So that there'd be some way to create a little bit of water. And on our season 3 server, our build server, who was it? Dipstick is building an entirely organic looking dungeon where it's all just rocks and trees and roots. So there's no walls or doors or anything like that. It's very organic looking. And he found ways to make little ponds in his dungeon by using the hot tub, by embedding the hot tub in the ground.
But if if you are exploring, and especially the meadows, there's sometimes you come across places, they look amazing, like with little rivers and little ponds, and you're like, oh my gosh, I want this. And yeah, I would really love to be able to recreate that.
Yeah, water at a level higher than the water table would be awesome.
Yeah, no need for making waterfalls or stuff like that. That's too big of a change, I think. But yeah, little ponds and little rivers, that would be like you see them in the meadows. They look great. And I would really like to be able to recreate that.
Now, how about having a mechanic where after a heavy rain, you actually have water collecting in trenches for a couple of days until it disappears again?
Yep, better start looking up them optimization videos. Calculating all that stuff. But yeah, actually, I saw a really good conversation between modders about this issue, and they said that because the entire world water table is at the same level and you'll never find water above that water containers, the container itself can be invisible, but it's the illusion that it's its own water pooling in an area. But yeah, this water container object placed in various places. If we could build these kinds of water containers with a water tool, then we could place a pond or a little stream at any height we wanted. But the water would only be in that container. That would still kind of get the same look. It would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I would really love that.
And Basta is saying they made the hot tub, and that might have been a test for that type of water physics.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, it's basically a water container, right?
Yeah, exactly. And also, actually, it's kind of weird because when you look at the hot tub, the water spills out of the actual limits of the edges of the hot tub itself. So you have that pond effect kind of going beyond just the hot tub, which is always fun, quite funny. But also the other thing that I think could be a bit of a test of different mechanics for water flowing is the tar pits and the physics that they brought in to actually drain the tar pits. So maybe we'll see more of that. I mean, next biome is the Mistlands, which we know is going to have a strong association with water. So maybe we'll have things like that. I really hope that we see waterfalls in the Mistlands. That would be the perfect biome for it.
I don't need to recreate them. Really, that's not what I'm asking. But yeah, that would be amazing to see them. Yeah.
Thanks for my next thumbnail, Gwen. Mistlands Waterfalls. Confirmed by Gwen. Inside source.
Oh my.
I was hoping you go for another thumbnail, but no. That will come later.
Well, Gwen, what's our digital Vaste like to see changed or added to Valheim?
He wants screaming goats. Tameable and screaming goats, tameable and highly noisy. and without the option to lower their volume, like the ones in Thor's last movie.
You
You're
made
an
that
evil
up.
genius, Vaste. No.
Remember, Vashti is the one who misses the grown wolves howling.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
you know.
He's the only one missing that.
It's such a Vaste suggestion. It's great.
That would
At
be
least
awesome.
he's consistent.
Oh, right. Yeah. Gwen, what about you? What would you love to see changed or added to
Well-
Valheim if in fact Vaste is real and that wasn't your answer?
Screaming goats, no, definitely not my idea. Well, I think I kind of said it, right? I would love to see waterfalls in the Mistlands. That's going to be
Ooh,
mine.
nice. Yeah, waterfalls would be awesome.
Yeah, I was just going to do a thumbs up for MD's idea, but then Bambi talked about hers and it gave me another idea. So there you go. That's this week's. What about you?
So I got home like at 1 a.m. in the morning, and I was in a very good mood and a little tipsy, and I tuned into yours and Morning Darkness's stream while you were decorating the table before I went to bed. It kept me up a little later than I had intended, but
Me too.
and somebody mentioned, I don't know if it was one of you or somebody in the text chat, but somebody mentioned wishing that the signs and item stands would snap together. And I just thought, well, yeah, everything else, all the regular build pieces snap together. You could do so many cool things if they would snap on top and to the side of each other. So I'm going to put that down as my wish list item. I'd love to see that because I've tried building things with them and you always have to freehand them.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Cool. Well, it's that time again where we're going to do our Valheim trivia quiz. So if everybody would join Vaste in his dark chamber in text chat.
Who's Vaste?
So
that's Gwen, right?
Bambi, if you haven't done it yet, there's a text chat box for the voice channel. Do you see that? Where Vaste's been typing? Yeah, if you just click on the channel, there'll be a little
Chat. Yeah.
open chat box. Yeah. There you are. You're typing in there.
Yeah, found it.
Perfect. So I'm going to read off a trivia question and you're going to type the answer. Now, some of these just require you to type out the answer and some have A, B, C, and D choices. You can type out the answer and submit it at any point you think you have the right answer to try to steal the point. Here we go. Where can this runestone be found in the world of Valheim? I'm going to read the runestone and you tell me where it can be found. The depths of this place promised me riches. Down, turns out, is easier than up. The lake helped best it could, but it can only do so much. It took my strength not to empty it completely, to leave you weary traveler a chance just as I had. I hope you came here more prepared than I. If not, there is room here next to me to just lay down and rest. And of course, laying next to this runestone is a skeleton of the person who carved the runestone. So let's see who got the right answer first. I see answers of swamp, and it is called the Frost Caves, but Vaste identified it as the Mountain Caves. So we'll take that as the correct answer. Vaste, good job, Digital Vaste, stealing the first point from the real people. Digital Vaste wants to be a real boy at some point.
It's like
Vaste.
It's like Pinocchio, but in a different way.
All right, good job, Vaste. Okay, get ready for question number 2. Name all the Forsaken in order of progression as fast as you can. Go. First one to get all the Forsaken in the correct order. Oh, let's see. Gwen is the first one with an answer.
Yeah, I lost already.
Eikthyr, Elder, Bone Mass, Motor, and Yagloth. Gwen,
With no spelling mistakes.
All right. Good.
That's
That's what tripped me up.
Now we know who can type fast.
That messed me up, the spelling.
Oh, yeah. Going back to correct it. All right. Good job, Gwen. Question number 3. Name this creature based on the following clues. It moves quickly after it attacks. It attacks with a ranged attack only. It can be found in the swamp. Its weakness is water. What is this creature? It moves quickly after it attacks. It attacks with a ranged attack only. It can be found in the swamp. Its weakness is water. And Bambi with Surtling, the first correct answer. Yay!
Go Bambi.
Go Bambi. Go Bambi. Good job. Spreading those points out early. Here we go. Question number 4. The abomination is very resistant to what damage type? Is it A, pierce, B, blunt, C, fire, or D, frost? The abomination is very resistant to what damage type? And I'm going to look over here at the answers. And Morning Darkness types pierce. Good job, Morning Darkness.
Yay.
It is very resistant to pierce. So if you're using pierce on the abomination, you are not doing as much damage as you could be.
Our arrows are only so good.
Yeah. Blunt, it is just resistant to. Fire, it is weak to. And frost, poison, and spirit, it is immune to. But very resistant to pierce. Good job, Morning Darkness. Wow, everybody has a point so far. That's a good spread. Okay,
I
question.
need to study more.
I think Dipstick was reminding everybody to study your runestones in preparation for the trivia quiz. And question number 5 does refer to a runestone. Here we go. Upon this spot, Otho and Bjorn fought a mighty duel to decide who has the finest blank. They fought to see who has the finest what? Is it A, an axe, B, a longhouse, C, a beard, or D, a long ship? Otho and Bjorn fought a mighty duel to decide who has the finest axe, longhouse, beard, or long ship. And let's look over here. And Gwen with beard. Good job, Gwen.
Wow.
Otho and Bjorn fought to see who had the best beard. The rest of that runestone goes upon this spot. Otho and Bjorn fought a mighty duel to decide who has the finest beard. Now I, Bjorn, must carve this stone to say that the beard of Otho is as bright and beautiful as a cornfield in summer. May Almighty Thor tear my own beard from my face if I lie, which means Bjorn won the fight.
Dude, Bjorn has some like serious beard issues.
Yeah.
Well, I remembered that, and that's why I answered this,
Right?
because of last trivia, or the one before, where there was another runestone about someone
Praying to Freya.
lamenting that Astrid, or one of the Shield Maidens, only had eyes for Bjorn and his beautiful beard.
Yes, you remember. Good job.
Yeah.
Where is this? Where is this runestone?
Oh, I forget.
And what
We'll have
biome?
to search the wiki to see where it tells you.
That's just a shame, Jiroc. That's a shame.
It sounded like I was ready to type mountain because I thought the
Yeah,
question was,
me
where
too.
is it? And I was like, oh, it sounds like something, I feel like I remember seeing it on a mountain.
I was waiting for the biome as well, but
All right. Number 6. What 2 creatures does Bone Mass reach into his armpit and pull out and throw at the Vikings during battle? What 2 creatures does Bone Mass reach into his armpit and throw at the Vikings during battle? And let's see.
Really? From his armpit?
He pulls
Yeah, I
them
didn't
from his
realize he
armpits.
does that.
yeah,
That's
you
so
haven't seen
gross.
that. Bone mass is like the gross one.
It really is.
Well, yes.
Well, it looks like the correct answer is Vaste, the first correct answer. It is a skeletons and blobs that he pulls from his armpits and throws at the Vikings. Good job, Digital Vaste.
Digibaste.
Digivaste.
Yeah. Like Digimon.
Yeah.
Just picture it, throwing blobs from your armpit. You really need some hygiene then.
Okay, number 7. This is another runestone. On this spot, something happened to the person who carved this runestone. They carved it in praise of the gods so that they might forgive their reckless words. So what happened to this person? Did they almost freeze to death? A. B. They were struck by lightning. C. A tree fell on their head. Or D. They were chased by a horde of Draugr. On this spot, something happened to the person who carved this runestone. They carved it to praise the gods so that they might forgive their reckless words. Let's see what the answers are here. And I see Vaste
edited his answer.
Vaste answered.
He edited.
A with they almost froze to death. That is incorrect, Vaste. You got it in first, but that is incorrect. Gwen answered B, as in boy, that they were struck by lightning. That is incorrect. Morning Darkness answered they were chased by a horde of Draugr for letter D. That is also incorrect. So Bambi, just taking the only letter that nobody else answered with, wins by default. A tree fell on their head. And the actual runestone reads, on this spot, a tree fell on my head and I cursed the gods. So I leave this stone in praise of them that they might forgive my reckless words. Good job, Bambi, knowing your runestones.
No, it was only a guess because I always die on every server by a falling tree.
Okay, good job. Now, number 8. Name this creature based on the following clues. They were once human. They can raid your base after having killed bone mass. They are a rare spawn found only in burial chambers, besides the raids. They wield a green flaming iron mace. Let's go and turn to the answers. I knew with the first clue I was going to get Draugr as an answer. That's why I made it the first clue. But the first correct answer is the rancid remains. Good job, Vaste. We have 2 questions to go. Let's get an update on the score. Gwen with 2, Morning Darkness with 1, Bambi with 2, and Vaste steals the lead with 3.
Yeah, but he's not real.
Yeah, he's not real.
He's a computer generated.
Computer generated Digivaste.
He's a bot.
Okay, question number 9. Fueling shamans worship the long dead king. What is the name of the king? Fueling shamans worship the long dead king. What is the name of that king? Morning Darkness with a quick Yagloth answer. Good job, Morning. I don't think people know that he is also referred to as the long dead king.
Me neither. It was only a guess.
Good job, Morning. Okay, here we go. Final question. What are the 3 colors of the different necks that you can find in the game? What are the 3 colors of the different necks you can find in the game? Each level of star has a different color. 0 stars, 1 star, and 2 star.
Gwen's answer doesn't count. It says blue. It's blue. No, it's blue.
It was an obvious typo.
Gwen,
no, it was blue.
Gwen created a new color, NLUE, Nlu.
Nlu.
All right, so Gwen is the first one to answer. Green, blue, and purple. Yep, that is, I guess I would have had to have taken different colors answers because like it's kind of pinkish, but yeah, green, blue, and purple are considered the standard colors for the 3 different necks in the game. Good job, Gwen. All right, that's a point for Gwen. Let's look at the score. We have Morning and Bambi with 2 each, Gwen and Vaste with 3. Good job, you two. Here comes the tiebreaker question.
Wait. Are you sure? Because Morning Darkness got Yagluth, right?
Yep.
Are you sure it's not a three-way tie?
No, that brought me up to 2.
Yeah, she only had...
Another tie between Digivaste and I. Dun, dun, dun.
Gwen's just competing against herself because she's making up Vaste. Okay.
Yeah, so she gets more chances to get the right answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, you guys.
Okay, pay close attention. This is only for Gwen and Vaste. Bonus question for the tiebreaker. What month was Jiroc's first Valheim video published? Was it January 2021, February 2021, March 2021, or April 2021? And I'm looking at the answers, and Gwen answered April, and that is incorrect, Gwen.
Gwen, I thought you had an advantage here.
And Vaste answered March, and that is incorrect. Jiroc's first Valheim video was published in February of 2021. It was the thumbnail was "You're Building Wrong," and the title was "Build Easier with This Simple Valheim Tip." And the video, I was wandering around in the game, and I realized when you look over, because of the cursor is off, your character's offset to the left underneath the cursor. When you look over to the left, you can reach around and put another extension on the piece you're building because the cursor swings out more to the right. But when you look over your right shoulder, you cannot attach another piece on the extension. And so I thought, I should probably make a video about that. And I got a few hundred hits. It's up to 2,000 today, so most people still haven't seen it. But that few hundred hits encouraged me to launch my YouTube empire.
I'm going to have a look at that. You made a build video that people are building wrong.
Yep.
I have to see that.
It had nothing to do with roofing, though.
It's no roofing. Okay. No roofing. Okay. So fortunately for you guys, I do have another bonus question to break this tie. Let's see who can get this one right. Gwen or Vaste? And this is because this item was just discontinued. Maypoles require what components to make? What are the 3 components required to make a maypole, which you can no longer make? Go.
And Gwen answered with thistle, wood, and dandelions for the win, Gwen! Whoop, whoop!
Hey! Go, Gwen. Go, Gwen. Go, Gwen.
Good job. I was going to ask what items are required to make the Midsummer crown, but Morning Darkness literally said the one item and how many it took earlier. So
I only made 45 of them over the last week, so I should know.
Yeah.
Vaste saying we're so bad we need 2 tie breaks.
Digivaste. Good try, Digivaste. And congratulations, Gwen. I think that's 2 wins for you now so far, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, we're going to finish up this week's podcast with a little about us, and we're going to talk about our favorite tabletop games, so non-computer games, and we're going to spread it out real quickly over our favorite game as a child, as a teen or young adult, and then our favorite tabletop games now at whatever age we're at within the last few years, if you've discovered one. Morning Darkness, you want to start us off with your favorites?
I interpreted this as board games, so I'm going to stick with that.
Sure.
My favorite, what?
Oh, yeah, sure. You can be board games or any game played on the table.
Sure. But my favorite was Candyland as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
And then as I got older, I started to learn more about different board games. And so as a young adult, Blockus became my favorite. And I don't know if you guys have heard of Blockus.
No, what is that?
It's basically a get all your pieces on the board puzzle game with turns. It's sort of like group Tetris.
Ah.
And I'm stupid good at that game.
Oh.
Like everyone who knows me, who's ever gone on a trip with me and seen me pack a car, will hum the Tetris sound when I pack the car.
Oh, if we're ever able to attend a big event together, we got to bust out a Blockus game.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Well, I need to have you over for dinner. I need to make you chicken tikka masala.
Chicken tikka masala.
Can you post some over to the UK?
Or even post a recipe for that.
All right, but this is quick. This is supposed to be quick. And then now I'm much more into cooperative board games. So it's a really hard choice between Big Book of Madness or Forbidden Desert.
I'm not familiar with either of those board games.
So Forbidden Desert is a game where you place down tiles and you're like a group of people trying to uncover an ancient airship so that you can get out of the desert as a storm tries to bury you in sand.
Oh, that sounds really cool.
Really a lot of fun. It's got a lot of moving pieces. You really have to work together. Everyone has a different job. Super fun. Big Book of Madness is the only kind of deck building game I've ever liked. And you're a bunch of students at a magic school and you have to use elements to break curses and fight monsters or you go mad.
Ooh, that sounds like fun too.
And it's cooperative. So you have to work with each other to like break the curses and give each other turns and hope that you have what it takes to defeat the monsters.
Yeah, most of the modern day tabletop like board games and card games, I haven't played too many because I haven't been able to find a group of people that wanted to, and I've tried with my friends to get that going. Years back when I was still playing Guild Wars, found a guy who played Guild Wars and did like to play like monthly board games and whatnot. And I kind of miss that because there's so many cool games out now these days. I mean, most people think of the computer, but there are still these, games you can put your hands on and play. And it's so much fun to do that and get together.
To be honest, I can help you guys with that because there is a great site. You can play like board games online. And if you go on Discord with each other, then it's almost like you're playing the game Tabletop.
Ooh, what's the name of that site? Do you remember?
That's Board Games Arena.
Oh yes.
Okay, cool. Well,
and I have a VIP standard there, so I can start any game, and you can all guys join without having a subscription there. So,
oh, nice. Ooh. Well, then what about you, Bambi? What are your 3 favorite games throughout the years?
My first childhood game, we posted it in the same time. Yeah, it was Mousetrap.
Oh, yeah.
I love Mousetrap.
I got it from my grandparents. We here in Holland we don't have Santa Claus, but we have Sinterklaas. It's the same character in mythology. The same saint. And yeah, I got it from them. And yeah, I played that so many times. Even if there weren't anybody around to play that with me, I set up the whole game and just played with the mouses being chased across the board without playing the game itself. Yeah. That's my all-time favorite as a child.
Nice.
And you promised you would come over for a game of Mousetrap Jiroc, because I still have the game.
Oh, I'm jealous. I did get it as
original
a little kid too, but I have no idea what happened to it.
Yeah, I still have it because it was a gift to me, and still the original game. The box is a bit broken, but yeah, still have it. Sorry, this was gonna be a fast thing, right? Games I like to do. I'm a true board game player, so I like so many games. Our gaming closet, cabinet is just piling with games. Mm-hmm. I like Catan. I don't know if you guys know. You probably know that.
Settlers of Catan.
Yeah, and Settlers. Yeah, thank you. And the game I'm liking the most now, and I got another edition of that for my birthday from my husband, is Azul. I don't know if you guys know that.
No. What is
Azul is, you have to see it. Azul is just an amazing game. You are you have to build like separate tiles in a different order, and just Google it, or it's too much to explain now. Mm-hmm. But it's such amazing strategic game, and you can have fun messing with your opponents. But the more players you play it with, the more they mess with you. So yeah.
Awesome. One of the reasons I did like to ask this question for us, but I always ask it of other people I know too, because I want recommendations for good board games of people who actually play them regularly and really enjoy them. So that's awesome to hear some of these new games I've never heard of.
Well, Azul, we can play on Board Game Arena if people want to.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll have to plan something like that. And Gwen, what is DigiVaste favorite games?
So he said in no age order. Tabletop, he mentioned a game called Teg, T-E-J-G. Card games, Uno, Truco, and Chinchon, which sounds sounds Latin American. I don't know what that game is. Uno, of course, we all know, and yes. It's also one of my my games too. So it looks like it's more card games than tabletop games for Basse.
Nice.
Still tabletop.
Yeah, just not board true. Game.
Yeah, exactly. And for myself, I'm very much of the same clan of I don't really play many tabletop games, to be honest. But as a kid, I've got a lot of fond memories of playing with my grandparents a game called Rummikub, which I don't know if anyone knows. It's basically a kind of game like Scrabble, but imagine on your Scrabble board, it's not letters, it's just numbers and different colors, and you have to basically assemble them and get points. So yeah, you played that a lot.
It's known in every country, right?
No, I never heard of it.
I think it might be a European thing. I think it's a very European thing because my grandparents I played it with were or my French grandparents who live very close to the German border, and I know that everyone in that area knows Rummikub. So it might be like a continental Europe thing. I've not seen it much. I think it's a really old school game. But yeah.
Morning, you haven't heard of that game, right?
No.
Yeah.
I'm just mind blown that's okay. That's class. Okay.
Yeah. So it's
sorry.
Yeah, so it was like a classic tabletop game that we would play with my grandparents. My grandma loved it, and she was a bit cheeky with it, though. She would kind of, make up her own rules when it suited her, kind of thing.
Oh my!
We couldn't really call her out, so.
Or mess up the whole table trying to win.
Mm-hmm.
And forgetting how everything was laying on the table. Oh my gosh,
yeah, it's one of those fun games. But with my family and my siblings, we played a lot of Uno, which is always very fun to play as a family. So did that a lot as a kid, and then as a young adult, my Japanese grandparents taught me my grandpa taught me how to play Hanafuda, which is it's Japanese playing cards. It's essentially the kind of playing cards, traditional ones that the Yakuza play. But of course, like everyone in Japan plays it. And so yeah, we would spend evenings with the other side of the family playing that game. And yeah, it's a fun one. It's basically the playing cards are beautiful. They're really small. They're really thick, kind of cardboard cards, and they have lots of flower designs on them in the traditional Japanese style, and it's a really kind of old and very traditional kind of game. And you basically need to make sets of those cards that will unlock you a certain amount of points. So yeah, quite a fun game, quite easy to pick up. So I've taught it to a couple of people. And now as an adult, I don't play many tabletop games, but one that I do have a lot of fun with, especially when playing with friends, is Cards Against Humanity. It's always a good laugh.
Yeah, that's always the big party game when everyone's a little bit intoxicated.
Yeah.
And they have some extensions for that game too.
Yes.
We picked up a few of them.
Yeah, there's some fun extensions, and there's also like a rip-off brand that Bambi, you would love it. If we ever meet up, we need to. I will bring the set and we will play it. There's a rip-off of Cards Against Humanity that's all Disney themed. I think it's Disney Against Humanity or something like that. And oh my God, imagine Cards Against Humanity and how awful it is, but with with Disney characters and references. It basically will ruin your childhood, but it's great.
It sounds a bit like Munchkin. I don't know if people know that, but it's all about playing foul.
About playing what?
Playing foul. You have to cheat as far as you can.
Yes.
Mm. Yeah. Cards Against Humanity gets very non-PC and vulgar and adult.
Yeah, that's why you can only play it as an adult.
Yeah.
There is a Cards Against Humanity app, and I have a number of friends who would play it.
Oh.
I once played Cards Against Humanity with my colleagues with the director, like the global director or like VP of HR present. And she was the worst one of all. No, she was awful.
That's not a game for coworkers.
It was fine. We made it work.
Nice.
That's funny. Yeah, there was always, I can't say it here, but there was always one card that if anybody got, the whole group, anytime you got it, you would just play, and no matter what answer it was always the correct answer just because of the card was so outrageous. And I can't, it's so bad I can't even say what the card says on it.
I have one of the best stories about that card game that has continued to be an inside joke with my marriage for like a decade.
Yeah, that's awesome. For me as a young kid, I played, all the standard games, learned to play chess and checkers and the different card games, and Mousetrap was the like one of the only games I ever requested like as a Christmas or birthday gift, and got it. But I loved like the strategy games, and there were different games where like there would be continents and you would like move armies around and attack each other. But a lot of them were just too complicated and bogged down with rules. But the one that I still kind of enjoy goofing around with the app today is the game called Risk. It's just kind of a much more simple, like quick to play. It didn't last for, 10 hours like Monopoly or some of the other war games out there. Like you could play it for an hour or two and then be done and go on, do your thing. So I love that as a kid. I tried to play it every chance I could with anybody who came over. It didn't matter if you're a kid or an adult. I would go up to all the adults. You want to play Risk? You want to play Risk? And then probably around 12 years old, I discovered Dungeons and Dragons, and then that and other role-playing games was it. Even into my adult years. But as an adult, I've really come to appreciate the game of Texas Hold'em as the card game. I don't care if we play for quarters or we play for hundreds of dollars, preferably not hundreds. I don't want anybody to feel bad losing money, but I just love the strategy to that game. It's so much amazing strategy. I don't think people who haven't played understand how much strategy it is. And it's the only casino game I will ever play because everything is stacked in the casino side. But this, you're only playing against other players, not the casino. So those are mine.
Nice. You know what? There's another game that I just have to mention.
Mm-hmm.
Have you played Mysterium?
No, but I've heard of it. What's the basic gist to it?
Murder mystery, where it's mostly cooperative, and you play as a bunch of psychics trying to communicate with a ghost, and the ghost gives you dreams. It's sort of like a Clue meets Dixit. I don't know if you've played Dixit either, but
no.
It's very fun. You get these cards that are super esoteric, and you have to interpret them from those cards what the ghost is trying to tell you for the person, place, and thing as to, who killed them where and with what murder weapon.
Oh, sounds fun. Sounds like we have some options if we ever get together. And
I am like Bambi. I have an entire stacked wire shelving unit that we had to buy extra and for storage on our house for board games. I have multiple cooperative games. I have multiple competitive games. I have games that I'll never play with my husband ever again.
I do have game options, tabletop game options for children as well, because I do like the real games, not like the poopy thing here, poopy thing there. I hate those games.
Wait,
So-
what?
Yeah, for children. If you ever need advice for children's game, yeah, please come to me, because I hate those stupid games. That like you still have the game as well, like Ticket to Ride. I don't know if you guys know that.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah. Well, the only junior version that is perfect for children is the Ticket to Ride version. But other junior versions, please, no, don't do that. So if you ever need, tabletop gaming advice for children, you
come to
That's
Jiroc's
all.
Discord and then DM
Ask-
Bambi.
yeah. First, come to Jiroc's Discord.
All right. Well, we've come to the end. And if you have a question for us that you'd like us to cover on next week's podcast, leave it in the comments and we'll try to answer it here on the next podcast. And I think that's going to do it for this week. Thanks for joining me, everyone.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Have a good day.
Thanks for having us again.
And Vase says thank you, hello, goodbye. Bloop, bloop.
He's not real. That's it for now. Have fun out there. Baste,
Hello.
can you say something for me?
Yes.
Say, don't listen to them. I am a real boy.
No, don't do it.
Wow.
You have to record it, but you have to record it. If
It is
I'm going
recording.
to- Okay, silence. Don't listen to them. I am a real boy.
Gwen, are you laughing your ass off over there?
You did the robot thing.
Gwen, turn your mute off. I want to hear you laughing.
Muted. Am I muted? I'm not muted. No, I was like literally dying in my chair.
Thank you for listening to Podheim, Jiroc's Valheim podcast. We have new episodes coming out every Friday, and if you enjoyed listening, please support us by subscribing to the podcast on your favorite platform and leave us a rating and a review to help more Vikings find us. We also have a Patreon with perks for supporters like behind-the-scenes discussions, exclusive content, and segments that are edited out of the main podcast. And if you'd like to join our friendly Discord community, we have more than 1,000 people there. Just go to discord.gg/Jiroc the Viking. If you'd like to play on my Valheim servers, just go to my website at jiroctheviking.com and submit an application. I'd like to give a huge shout out to my supporters, some of them on Patreon, the YouTube membership, and the ones who help boost our Discord server. Your support means the world to me and inspires me to make more videos, as well as run a community Discord and multiple Valheim gaming servers. If you enjoy my videos and would like to support my work, join our friendly Discord community and Valheim servers. Links can be found in the description below. Skål!